What's up? Hello, everybody. It is the SpitFyre Podcast. We are back and we are happy to be here. It's your favorite Sagittarius, Akii.
Zai, your Aries.
Robbiey, your Leo.
Yes, and we're finally back. Thanksgiving was this past week.
Yes.
We ate a lot and we're just happy to be here. We are thankful for you all. I really am. I didn't mean that to sound shady, but I really am thankful for you.
We are very thankful for you.
We are thankful.
And
So,
we're thankful
all
for
gonna
everyone that tuned into our last episode. That one did really, really good. So thank you guys.
yeah, thank you.
Thank you.
And I know we have not been as frequent as last time, but life be lifing, and we trying our best.
We're doing the best we can with what we
Yeah,
got.
listen, like
It's hard out here.
bear with us, but I promise it's gonna be all of it is worth the wait. I promise. So, with that being said, since it was Thanksgiving, how was
Gobble,
everybody's holiday?
Relaxing, chill.
I worked.
I didn't go anywhere.
Yeah.
I just spent time with family. It was cute.
It was pretty straightforward. I mean, I don't know. The food was going to be there. I was going to get a to-go plate regardless. It was my first time working a double on a Thanksgiving. So I was like, let's see what this does. So it was cute.
I love that. It was nice. I got to see some family. I even got to see a couple of my cousins who have been out of town.
Out the way.
One's from Washington, one is in Atlanta. So they came and I got to see them. And I was happy because I ain't seen them in a minute. So yeah.
Love that. Love that.
Y'all got a favorite dish?
Greens.
For real.
That's a little controversial. I like me a mean corn pudding or my other ancestors is calling.
I remember you.
If
made it
done
for
right,
me.
I a little green bean casserole tasty too.
Hey, green bean casserole was good. I ain't gonna hold
With a
you.
little crunchy onions, I'm like, I'm sorry.
Green bean casserole was good.
I still haven't had a
care.
good one. Someone
Really?
made one once and I tried. I
Some of them be
said-
real soupy. Some of them be real
And
soupy.
that's what it was. And I said, this is not for me.
I don't mind the soupiness either.
Oh.
You said you eat the soupy one too?
Thick or soup, I don't care.
If the
If it's
flavor's
made right,
yeah.
that is a banger. That's
That's
a banger.
true. Dressing will always be for me.
But my family has never
Dressing.
made it though.
Dressing. I love dressing.
Dressing is good. Dressing.
Especially when they do it right.
Is it the cornbread one, or you like the one with the sausage and the little bits all in it?
No, it's the
I don't
cornbread
do mine
one.
like
It's
that.
the cornbread one, but it's not the one with Jiffy Mix. It's
Hey,
not
yeah,
Jiffy
'cause
Mix
that's cake.
dressing. That we don't do that.
They used to try to make me eat that when I was younger, and I used to almost throw up every time.
What, the Jiffy?
Stuffing or dressing, I can't do either one.
I love it.
The concept
just
to me,
tastes like
sometimes it is delicious.
Sage.
Yeah,
That's why it's good.
Yeah.
Like that's all.
Delicious. Yeah, I think the concept to me is a little weird because I am just like, damn, this really is just seasoned bread we eating.
Mushy
But-
bread.
Mushy seasoned bread in broth. But it busts. It's phenomenal.
Especially if you hook it up a little bit, you get a little bit of turkey juice poured on there. Then you get some of the yam
Use that
juice
for the
poured on
drippings.
there. Eat it with the yams and it's a top tier.
It is time.
Yeah, it's one of my favorite sides. Yeah.
Which I was probably least favorite thing about the holiday times. It doesn't even necessarily have to be Thanksgiving, but during the holidays, what is something that you're like, I could go without?
It's not necessarily I guess it's more like a newish thing, but it's just knowing that your family is not as close as it used to be, when things start to change. Because I was noticing that with my family, we're not as close as we used to be. We used to be with each other 24/7 in there,
Yeah.
And now, as we've gotten older, it's it's not that. It's always some beefs or something. It's very dumb, but yeah.
It definitely, the dynamic changes, especially if it deaths of matriarchs,
Yeah.
main people in there. Once granny goes sometimes, it's
Listen,
damn.
and that's how I feel. It was once my grandmother and my grandmother left, I really felt that's when we really, really fell off. It was already a bit shaky when we lost one of my aunts and when we lost my cousin, but then once my grandmother left, I feel we really just
Risk to put.
and I'm the fuck.
Yeah, just even me noticing with my mom was always normally done Thanksgiving, and she's getting a bit older, and I hosted for the first time last year, and even that was a little surreal for me, and I was like, damn, I guess, is this carrying the torch, so to speak? It definitely is a little, for me, my least favorite thing. I don't know why it grinds my gears. So I hate when people try to use the holidays as a time for reconciliation.
Same.
I wasn't fucking with you yesterday. I'm not gonna be fucking with you after this meal. And if anything, I'd really rather not discuss how I don't like you over my stuffing. Just let the food be the food.
Let's save that for another time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mine probably the same thing as Akii, just realizing that sometimes the holidays wear off, like the holiday spirit or whatever, how you feel about it wears off when you grow up, and it's like, oh,
No, for
that's why
real.
kids enjoy it because they don't know. Like,
They ain't gotta drive back 3 hours from somewhere.
you know? Or they don't have to try to maneuver this and drive here and go here because you got to work the next day because you ain't got this and you ain't got this, and then you got to get presents for this, then you got to cook this meal, but you got to find the money to get the stuff to cook the meal. Then you got to all of that stuff, and it's just kind of like.
Can't forget you.
Then people, grown folk, be having drama, and then it's this over here, then it's this over here, then so this person is over here, then this group is over here. It's pockets. We used to be in the house 20 deep.
Yeah,
like,
now
come
it's like
on
everybody's
now.
just like
scatter. People come in shifts now. Like this person come in at 4.
literally, yeah.
Then you got people that's coming in at 9.
Is mine. Okay, Christmas is mine. Okay, this is that. Okay, I'm not gonna be in the house with you because we're gonna fight.
It's
That's
like
a whole nine.
it's
It's just like
it's sad.
to be a kid again.
You know.
No, and I think also being older is like, okay, let me make this dish. And I understand the elders now where it's like, when I was a kid, it's like, I'm going to get plate after plate after plate. And then now I'm like, baby, you know how much greens is? You don't want to save nothing for nobody.
No,
One
let's talk-
to go
let's
plate.
talk about
That
No, literally. And then I also understand why you have those adults that go like super hard on a certain like holiday, like Christmas. They decorate their house, they do this whole thing, they have everybody over, they do this, and they go full out. And I used to be like, why are you doing all this? But then growing up is kind of like, oh,
Without that,
child
it
in you,
loses
that
it.
child
Yeah.
in you that's coming in. That's why Christmas is my favorite one. Bump every other holiday, but
It's Halloween for me.
Christmas.
I was happy to finally decorate for Christmas, and it does make a difference. Like me just throwing up a little lights, I was like, well, ain't this festive?
But look at me.
Putting on a Christmas album.
Dun, dun, dun.
SWV.
Y'all listen to Coco's new one?
Who's Coco?
I'm not listening to it. I'm sorry.
Oh,
Coco. I like her, but I don't.
the play
didn't
on
like the
words was
album,
nice. Coco
Oh,
by
you
the
don't
fire.
like
I
mean,
didn't like
is.
it.
You don't like it?
Cocoa Butterfly? Mm-mm. All 4 songs. I was like, well. But you liked
4?
Brandy's Christmas album.
Don't do too much.
I like a Christmas album that is their take on the classics. I don't like.
It is Brandy's take on the classics.
Start going full moon. But that's how it be though. I feel like sometimes a lot of artists they try to do like a Christmas album, or
Like
whatever.
their actual Christmas songs. And I'm like, I don't know this.
Now, I would say the only one that I religiously listen to, and please don't judge me. Ariana Grande ate that. She Christmas and Chill. That
is a good one.
As soon as November 1st hits, I'd be like, play. Like that was a
She
good
did that one right.
Yeah, I enjoyed that. Are You With It This Christmas? Hit. True Love? Hit. The intro's a hit.
Yeah, I don't think it's really, really well done. Let's see. Speaking of in that same vein, who all has tuned in to Wicked? Ariana, I'm sorry. No fucking knows. And I'm sorry, there might be a few spoilers in me just discussing this. I hate musicals.
Same.
I hate long ass movies. I went into there dreading every fucking moment, expecting it to be horrible. And I'm trying not to bust out the song right now. Like
Okay.
You hate musicals, but
that was a
speak
good
truth to it.
It was a great one. It was a phenomenal movie. Phenomenal movie. She became Glinda.
I love that.
Cynthia, you won a few points back from me. You know, I've never really been your biggest fan because of the whole African American thing. But
She'll never win anything from me.
She'll never lose anything from me. I'm sorry.
and I mean, I'm middle. Like
Every time they be on TikTok or
have
Twitter
that much
talking about
culture.
something, are y'all gonna stand for anything? Because I'll be like, shut up! Like, damn, you don't
No,
like it,
that's
don't
what
watch it.
no, for real. I mean,
That's just like the little I was getting into it on Twitter over fucking mac and cheese.
Oh my God!
Yes.
Leave Teeny
Over
alone.
Teeny mac
she
and
don't do
cheese.
nothing
Don't-
but cook for her black kid.
Yeah,
And
like,
that just
They said, "Why are you defending a white person?" I said, "I'm not defending, but it's just macaroni and cheese. It's
Y'all
literally,
are
if you
doing a
don't like it,
lot.
don't do it."
They're like, I'm used to it when it's like this,
I
like
need
that,
eggs in mine, I need eggs.
and it's not supposed to be soupy, y'all. I'm like,
What is corkscrew? What is corkscrew noodles?
like, I'm like, hey,
I'm sorry, you're getting all yours from Walmart.
You
Like,
know, I'm like, hey, hear me out. Remember, that thing that when it's like, oh, people can like different things. Let people like y'all trying to shame folks for liking the mac and cheese and the macaroni and cheese. I made the recipe. The shit hits.
bussin'.
It-
And I tried
like-
it with the egg. Both were great.
And guess what? It was never soupy. Without the egg or with it, it's
No,
not
it wasn't. That's why you
soupy.
do a roux. Like that's literally why that.
And I think they were like, oh, look, like it's supposed to, it's like, look all that. Da, 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 da. I'm like, you guys realize that she's literally putting a spoon in it immediately after she takes it out the oven.
It's the hottest it's gonna be.
It hasn't sat yet. Let it sit. Once it sits for about 5 minutes, it'll be cool.
Like
it'll be
cheese
right.
melts when it's hot. Like
I was
It's like that.
oh.
It's the TikTok. I don't know. I think it's a social media phenomenon. People be like, "Oh, this is how I make this, or this is how I make that." Well, I don't like eggs, or I don't like this. And then somebody was like, "Don't put eggs in it, or don't."
that kills
make
it when
it.
people
Like,
follow
it's that simple.
recipe and it'd be like 15 bean soup, and they're just like, well, what can I use in placement of beans?
What the fuck do you think it is?
That just don't need to sound like a recipe for you, babes. Like how did you get here?
I feel like all they do is complain. I was like, y'all are one miserable ass bunch. I don't care.
I literally said, "I'm sorry, y'all are miserable. Y'all are dragging this. Like y'all
literally
are
picking anything, and it's just like
It went from
there's so many black women that can make macaroni and cheese, and they're not getting the same shine.
hey,
that's
sorry.
social media, and that's been social media
How
since
do
the
you-
beginning of time."
Well, you're not gonna jump into this because you now are whiz on mac and cheese. How do you feel about the whole? Hey, someone said it, and I was just like, I don't know how I feel about it. So some people feel like mac and cheese don't need all that seasoning. It's salt, pepper, a little garlic pepper, garlic powder, and whatever, like real basic, like 4 or 5, and that's enough for macaroni and cheese. He said, why y'all putting Old Bay in it and paprika and da, 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 da. Me personally, I kind of like my macaroni and cheese taste a little bit like chicken.
Okay. I will say, his face.
I don't know about
I will
that.
say, so like, normally when my mom makes mac and cheese, she don't make it the teeny way. She don't make a roux. She really just make baked macaroni and cheese. And it tastes like it's supposed to taste. I love it. Just like, and then when I made teenies, I liked hers. I was like, okay, both of these can do.
Yeah.
I don't think there's anything wrong with putting seasoning in it, because some people want it to have a little bit of different flavor, a little bit of a kick. And honestly, like, she was not lying when she said that smoked paprika gonna really bring it out.
It makes a difference.
It did.
It's night and day.
It was. I was like, so I feel like people are just doing a lot. The discussions jumped because at first they was all her, because they was like, y'all got a white woman trying to teach y'all black recipes. Y'all don't see the culture. And we was like,
A lot of these black folk can't cook, so
I was like, first of all, I was like, hold on now, y'all, no disrespect, hold on.
we're losing recipes, so she had to teach us.
I said, she's a chef. She's actually a chef. She
She's been on
actually
TV.
cooks. She does this. She literally cooks everything. She has a tomato soup recipe that I can't wait to make. I can't wait to make that.
It's delicious.
I'm like, but it wasn't her coming like, I'm going to teach y'all how to make macaroni and cheese. She said, I'm going to teach you guys how to make my macaroni and cheese.
She didn't say the right way.
Right.
She didn't say the way, like, y'all been fucking it up.
Yeah,
Let me show
she
y'all
said,
what to
she
do.
was like, I promise you it's going to be the cheesiest one. She said, you're going to like it. I promise you. But that's it. She wasn't coming like, I'm teaching y'all how to really make macaroni and cheese. Like, that's not it. And you know why I trust her? Because I remember on TikTok, was it a year or two ago? She hosted Thanksgiving with both sides of the, like, so, you know, her family and then her boyfriend, or her husband now, her husband's family.
Congrats to y'all.
You know, congratulations. And his black mama was fucking that plate up. So I said, hey, clearly the girl can cook, so let me try one of her recipes.
If somebody can cook, they can cook.
They can cook. Like, there's so many people that can burn.
I had some
and
crab ragoons from a neighbor who was from the culture.
I'm gonna say, like, but we're gonna do potlucks. But
And I was sitting there. I said, "Oh, this doesn't taste like the Chinese
spot,
restaurants
yeah.
or nothing."
Because I
And
don't
she was like,
that.
"Because I'm actually
well,
like,
it
I'm
depends. It gotta be the right
actually there."
one. Sometimes the ratio of the cream to crab be a little off.
It be too sweet sometimes on the cream
See,
cheese.
I don't like a real
and I'd
sweet
be like,
one.
"Ugh." One time, okay,
I don't mind it.
don't hate me, y'all. I ain't trying to call y'all out. One time, my sister made like different like egg rolls or things or whatever like that, and she made like a crab ragout. I tried that. I said, I mean, they like it. They like crab ragout. They always have. I never liked that. When I tried it, I said, baby, this is just not for me. Personally,
This is garbage.
Like,
I love that.
This is not for me. This is not for my taste buds.
Oh yeah.
But that buffalo chicken dip egg roll was hitting.
I am not a buffalo chicken fan.
I
love
hate it.
Oh wow.
I don't like it on wing. I don't like buffalo sauce on wings.
Whoa.
Like,
Whoa.
Well, I don't like hot sauce. So
We're losing recipes. We're losing recipes.
I don't like hot stuff. But to answer your question, even though I'm not a macaroni and cheese cooker,
Even though it wasn't guy.
tasting like seasoning like you seasoning chicken I thought that was the reason for the whole 16 different type of cheeses for the flavor.
Well, those
Yeah,
taste like
especially
cheese.
salt
yes.
or Lawry's or Old Bay or garlic powder or stuff
See,
like
Old
that.
Bay is wild to me because ain't that seafood seasoning? I don't like. I don't. I don't really eat seafood, but I always see people put that on crab and stuff.
Old Bay does have like a seafood.
It literally has a crab on it.
Boil thing.
That's what I thought it was for.
Oh no,
Old
it's
Bay.
not. I didn't think so. I thought it was like Lori's.
It's like Chesapeake Bay. You know, no. Old Bay is literally for like.
Oh my god. Oh.
I don't know.
Well, yeah, you know, it was.
I like, well, like for mine, like I will boil my noodles in chicken broth instead of like just regular water. Because I mean, to me, it's not a big difference. Because like you're supposed to salt your pasta water anyway.
What?
I don't know if you think he said.
No,
Whatever that
I'll
means.
put like a chicken bouillon cube in a boiling pot of water and then put the noodles in there.
Yeah, same equivalent.
Yeah, sure.
But you use a whole thing of chicken broth to boil the noodles in, like 2 of them.
It's the same thing. A bouillon is
I
just
think that's more
condensed.
money.
Huh?
Ain't that more money?
Oh, it is more expensive.
Yeah.
But I think you were saying like the process of boiling it in bouillon water versus chicken broth. I'm like, bouillon's just really, really concentrated chicken broth.
Mm. That bitch is
I
salty.
just use
Man, it's
water.
very salty. I used to eat them as a kid.
I use water.
Whoa.
Yeah,
no way.
boil my shit in water, and you know.
Go the rest of the route.
You
Man.
know, I'm gonna follow this recipe to a T, except for the Dijon mustard. I did not put that in there.
I always put mustard on my. And a funny thing too, like, I did just my little secret for when I do like an Alfredo. Don't y'all run with this? Just a dash of nutmeg really just adds a little nuance. Just a.
You know what that remind me of? Did you see? Okay, you know the 1,000-pound sisters. Did you see when the girl was crying because they were talking about how she couldn't cook and she made that Alfredo?
I said a dash of nutmeg. That girl was putting in chamoy. Like,
White chocolate. White chocolate shrimp Alfredo.
After she did all that crying, and her sister was like, I guess I am
she
gonna
had
have
me
to taste
crying, bro. You always saying I can't cook it. Y'all think you're better than me.
She was like, you can't.
We don't say you can't cook. We say your food is weird.
They said, because y'all said I burnt boiling water. She was like, well, you did. Like,
The pan was dry. Speaking of Thanksgiving still, you know who I hope had a terrible Thanksgiving? Drake. I hope everything was unseasoned, and I hope the bird came out dry, because that was the most bitch-made shit I have ever seen in my life. Putting it, even though technically it's not an actual lawsuit yet, that submission of that discovery, one, it's just corny on so many levels of you, like, it's like the person that like lies to everyone and then immediately thinks everyone else is lying to them. It's like, no, you think that because you lie. You think this man has inflated numbers because you're inflating your numbers. And you just cannot fathom that your biracial privilege has run out. Like,
take your L, bro. It's okay to just take your L and go. Now, because I really thought, because in my head, I'm like, okay, Drake, he been quiet for a while. He ain't been saying nothing. In my head, I thought he was really going to take that break. And I thought if he did come back and he did like come at Kendrick, I was like, if he really wanted to, like he could really do his one. Yeah. Not saying that it would probably like, I'm not saying it would be on the same level as Kendrick because I don't think you're going to win a rap beef, but you could make another hit that take a couple shots and be like, what's up? Like, you knocked me down, bitch, but like, I'm back. And it's like...
And then also, I feel like if he would have just got quiet for a minute, maybe come back with like something, did a pivot and like go back to like your lover boy days. It's a little strange now that you're in your 40s, but like, it would have been more palatable than this.
Hey, make it another Take Care or something. Like let's.
I'd rather than be calling you corny for that.
You know, get back to making actual good music.
Get back into make some beats.
You know, it was just very weird. One of my mutuals on Twitter said, Tony, he was like Drake in his Queen era right now, and it's so true because it's
all
like
Young Money honestly is embarrassing me.
Because if you think about it, I look at the parallels. It was what was it? It was like Nicki was going, and then Remy Ma came, and was it Remy Ma first? Yeah, it was Remy Ma who came and who was like boosh, and then Nicki was going crazy.
Then it's the hate train.
Then it was the hate train, right? She released
the machines against me,
you know, and it was like after that she was really trying, and that's what kind of Drake. First Drake was doing good, and then boom, Pusha T came and whack, you know. Which hey, I will say personally, you actually held up with Pusha T quite well. I will always say this. The only reason Pusha T won that beef is because he actually had T. But when in terms of like the rapping and stuff, like you actually held your own. And honestly, if it was not for that T he exposed, I think you honestly would be the winner of that beef. but it's like that happened, and then he was cool again. He was getting his stride back, like Nicki was getting her stride back to release Queen, and then boom, here come Cardi, boom, here come Kendrick, and instead of you accepting it, like you are doing everything else to just embarrass yourself. I'm like, you really in your Queen era, like, hey, don't release no album. Like literally, like don't release no album. You gotta wait a bit. Do not release no albums because
Didn't he just release something for like a tour or something that looks like insane?
Really?
He just announced something for a tour.
I stopped listening to Drake's album. Wow. I can't do. His music has not really grown to me. He's stagnant. I think a lot of people are like that. I honestly think that's why he's failing in this beef is because his music is so stagnant.
It's stagnant while also him constantly in this like quest or I feel like he's always trying to like repackage, revision, rebrand constantly, and there's no intentionality behind it. It's just him like hopping on wave from wave to wave,
and that's what it is.
And it's because like if we're gonna say keep it a buck, like to me, I don't think like Future's music is necessarily grown, but he has a very strategic formula of what is his hits. And he stays there. He stays in his pocket. Future has been consistent for about the last 4 decades.
You know, and there's a reason why there's a reason why they be saying he has a spot on that Mount Rushmore. Because he does what he has to do.
Well,
I think you're absolutely
unless it's being a father.
He can't raise a child to save his life. But I think, like you said, his music is just stagnant. It's not going anywhere. Like you said, I feel like he does hop from thing to thing. And someone pointed something out. It's almost like he tries to sort of be like Beyonce in a sense. Like he wants like the acclaim and the critical acclaim and stuff that she gets and how like she has all of that. And he's been able to reach it. But it's because it comes from it's not as authentic as Beyonce. Like I know a lot of people give Beyonce a lot of grief, like, oh, she just be hopping away, she do that. But when she does, she's very strategic about it, and she actually does her research.
Yes,
I'm
100%.
so glad that she took Heated from Drake, because Heated would not have been the same had he kept it. And that, honestly, you should 100%. Stick to. And honestly, if you was real, like honestly, if it was me, I would honestly start writing a lot more for other people.
If you were B or Drake,
if Drake was me, if I was him, I would start writing for other people. Not saying you can't do your own music, but I'm like, there have been plenty of tracks that Drake has kind of been like a writer on, he has written and it's gone to someone else, and it's been a hit. And so I'm like, you should kind of do that more. Like, just stop trying to play gangsta. It was because, child, they have me watching Now That's TV. Thank you, my Twitter timeline and my TikTok timeline. And apparently one of the guys, what was his name? Duke. He apparently did modeling for the Pleasure You thing, or he did that. But I had him from Now That's TV because he was fighting. One fight he beat the guy up. The next fight he got knocked out by the same guy, and then he fought again and he beat that dude up again. You know,
is this the Baddie Boys or whatever?
It's like on Now That's TV. It was like,
not what it's called.
It was I don't know. It was like Deja Vu or something. It was a mess. Josh is a key on that show, though. She's hilarious.
Oh, Joyce,
Joyce, whatever her name. She's funny as hell. I'm sorry, she be taking me out. Like, she be messy at times, but she's hilarious.
I don't be knowing what y'all be talking about.
Listen, and the only reason I really got hooked on
Drake, all the people I kept my mind.
I'd be like,
I have no idea. What I didn't know he did any of that.
Yeah. Also, MNEK, like, you didn't have to respond to me like that.
Who's Danny King?
I said MNEK.
Who?
MNEK, Manek, whatever his name is. Because I tweeted at him last night, and I feel like it needed to be said. Shoulda, woulda, coulda by Flo is a hit waiting to happen. But they put that extra fucking snare or drum in it, and it fucks up the flow of the song. And I tweeted, I said, hey, I'm coming to you as someone who's been a fan of Cardboard Box had only 3K views. No, I didn't. I just said, if y'all could please just take that extra snare or drum out, it really ruins the flow of the song. I'm not the only one who said it. A lot of people saying that. I watch reaction videos a lot, and they was like, I don't like that. It's messing it up. And like, I see what y'all is going for. I see the vision, trust me. But one of those extra drums got to come out. Yeah. If you just leave one of them, you golden. One of them got to come out. And I just tweeted that at him, and I said, hey, very respectfully, And he responded
But you
to
did
me.
add him?
Yeah, I added him and Flo. I wanted him to know I'm a real fan, you know? And he tweeted at me, "What the fuck?" And I said, "Hey, being respectful." Like, but it made me laugh because
That's a question.
You know, because my friend Marco he was like sending this to him. It's that video of Candy talking to Kim, like, "Who the fuck you think you cussing at?" Like, and I was like, "Wow."
cussing at?
Like, if you, like, I was like, I wasn't even swearing at you. I was just like,
What the fuck?
And I was like, well, I said it. I said, I did start going to compiling tweets of everybody complaining about it. But I said, you know what? That's their vision. That's their baby. I'm going to let them have it. I still like the song. I think the song is kind of like a 7 out of 10, 6.5 out of 10. But I feel like if they took that out, it would be 10 out of 10 and it would be in my top 3.
I had to eat crow on their album because when I say on first listen, I hated everything.
Oh, no.
That was not already released in single. I was like, oh, this isn't going anywhere. But I spun that around, baby. Nocturnal, on and on. That's another good one that just recently got hit too. I was listening to Angel last night. I don't know. The whole album is actually really, really solid.
I love Soft.
Soft is good too.
Soft. Renee, girl. You know you're my girl. I'm sorry. I really love her. I think they each complement each other. I think they very much like everybody has their own solidified lane in that group, and I think they work well together. And I really hope they stay together for a while. Like I would like to at least get 4 albums from them before they decide to go do their own thing.
Plus a couple EPs.
That. Yeah, you know, yeah. Come on, like help me out. And I do like their little idea they did. It's like they released CDs. They released like the regular CD, of course, but then they released CDs, and each of them had their own cover on the CD, like their own.
That is cute.
It was them, and then they each had a song that they sort of led on that specific CD. And I said, "That's smart.
That's
how you do it." I was like, because not only are you making fans buy just the normal album all together, but now you're making each of their like sub fan bases go and buy certain things. And while that could become messy if the people want to look at
because
numbers
it's done equally,
stuff.
it's like kind of like, and I was talking actually Angel that last night. I really liked them as a girl group because both as somebody who's like clocked into them, but even if I was just like a passive listener to them, you can't immediately tell like who's lead, who's not, because it really isn't like we can all sing lead. Like they all are like very solid and they're all cohesive, and it doesn't give that there's this one person that's like prining for the limelight. Now, I have my own personal opinions on who I feel is like the stronger vocalist or stronger with like arrangements or different features thing. But like I feel like you said, I feel like it works amazingly as a package.
I mean, I've said it. I already know how I go. I always say I think Georgia has the most powerful vocals, but I think Stella is the strongest vocalist. And I think Renee adds something that if she was not there, the group would like. She adds like flavor, like a little bit of urbanness to it. And I think I also really like her voice, especially on she has like a vulnerable side, because when I listen to Bending My Rules, I love how she leads that chorus. So I'm like, oh, come on,
Bring it in.
Yeah, but gotta love the music. Shout out to Kendrick, by the way. I know we spoke on the last episode, but I did go and listen to some of it, and it was good.
That was a great album. I'm sorry.
I'm still on your ass. I'm still on your ass because I want I want him to be consistent across the board when it comes to certain things.
Yes.
But hey, a hit is a hit. I give 10s what they're due.
Yes. Just get the E word out of there. But yeah.
What is the E word?
The slur for Inuit people.
I don't even know what it is.
They say it's the people that live in the snow huts. What are those things called? Igloos.
Igloos?
Yeah.
Oh. Kisses.
Huh?
Like the
yeah.
Oh.
They don't like that.
Oh.
Oh wait, that's a slur?
I
had no idea.
It's because they're Inuit. Yeah. It's like calling them. It's like calling somebody Indian versus like indigenous.
Okay, got you. Oh, well, yeah. Maybe get rid of that. I guess. Yeah, maybe get rid of that. That's not.
I will say, like, that is one of the lessons. It's kind of like I feel like Beyonce and the whole spastic situation. Yeah. Like, there are certain things I think in Black culture and the lexicon that I feel like are just not used in the same context, but it is something that, again, at his status, you kind of have to be aware that.
Yeah. I guess.
Yeah.
To an extent.
I guess.
No, I say to an extent because it's like, yeah, you could be aware, but I'm like, hell, I'm not even aware, and I try to keep up on stuff. So it's like,
Right.
Like,
not everybody's gonna know everything, but it's like I don't like when people double down once they do know. When they're just
yeah, I get that. Do wish we had a little bit more grace for each other. I would say
100%.
Let's give a little bit more grace to each other. You know.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, let's have grace. But if you double down on it, then girl, fuck you. Sorry.
Agreed.
Mm-hmm.
Well, trying to think of a reasonable segue, but I guess we'll just kind of go into our next segment, which is deal breaker, red flag, or is it something that like, hey, I rock with it, doesn't bother me. So we're gonna just go around and basically ask general questions on things that either we decide is a red flag, like something we just got to keep an eye out for, a deal breaker where it's like an immediate red flag, or something that you're just like, that doesn't even faze me, that doesn't even like, I don't know, it's at most mildly concerning. So, Rob, you want to lead us off?
They reference their ex during a first date or early on in dating. Is that a red flag? To me, it is not. In the context that you are not speaking of them like you are still in love with them.
Everything that you.
But if it's just like a reference to kind of like,
it depends on. Yeah, I'm like,
oh, my ex used to do this. I hated that shit. That's why
Yeah.
Okay.
Or they're bringing up to like reference, like you're like, oh, what was your last dating experience like, and then they bring that up, or they allude with that. Again, I think it also weighs heavily on like how they're being discussed, because I'm, as much as I like being the one that's like still in love with them, like that's a thing. I also sometimes, especially if you're like, oh, we were together 3 years, but let's say you're explaining to me how y'all broke up and you were just disparaging this person, they're just tearing them apart. It is immediately me being like, you didn't love them at one point.
Yeah.
I mean, like,
but they still did some disparaging things.
But I'm saying, like, sometimes people will be tearing them up, and I'm like, I don't think that calls for all that. Like, that's
I get that, because it's kind of like again, it's kind of like that Khalid thing with that boy, because it's like you were so busy calling him ugly, this, that, and the third. Somebody's like, but you were together, so what's the
for some time?
Like, you gotta stop doing that. Like, they were ugly then.
You don't get to backtrack on those things. You don't. I feel like it's also fucked up when people suddenly start to like things that were said in confidence while you're in a relationship, because y'all know everything. Now y'all also like you telling them all their tea and stuff like that, because it's
I
like,
might do that.
Huh?
So I might do that. Not to other people. No, I just tell my friends.
Right. Well, in the context of like, it's a first date or something. Yeah, that would, like, I would say, okay, so for me, at most, red flag.
Yeah, I think it's sort of like, I think my only thing is that, sort of kind of what you saying, like, it just depends on the context. Like, I don't necessarily think it's a red flag. However,
it can be.
Don't compare me to your ex. I be tell niggas, I tell everybody, don't compare me to your ex, because I will be like, you can go be with them.
I won't do it out loud.
You can go be with them. You can go be with them. I do not give a damn. I don't give a damn. Like, oh, well, they used to. I'm like, well, go be with them.
What if it's in a positive way, or does it matter?
It's like, it's not that, but it's just always like,
you're kind, just like my ex. I always pick very kind men.
I guess I guess that could be okay. Honestly, that don't bother me.
Yeah.
But it's like the experiences that I've had with it, it's always been like, well, such and such used to do this, and such used to do that, and I'm like, yeah, and such also dogged you the fuck out. So,
and you're also not with such and such.
Like, congratulations, happy birthday.
If they did everything correctly, why aren't you with them?
Why aren't you with them?
Oh well. Try something different,
you know.
Try something new,
and it would just be the smallest thing, and I'm like, you're telling me that I don't care. So that normally, once that happens, I'm like, bye. You got it.
You got it. What's our next one? Oh shit, I lost it. Okay, they either are not a fan of your family or close friends and would just rather not like deal with them. So that's the person that's like, oh, y'all ain't gotta invite me to Thanksgiving, or oh, Akei's gonna be there. I'm cool. I'd rather not. But they know that they're one of your good Judies, so they're just like, no, I'm cool. I don't rock with them. You got it, babe.
Red flag.
Really?
I don't think
for friends and family, or
yes, especially friends. It gives me
what it give you?
It gives me abuser vibes.
Really?
Well, I don't think so.
I was like, in the context of like,
because I don't like all my previous partners' friends.
Not coming around whatsoever, and then at a certain point, you're going to be like, okay, I'm going to choose my man over this, that, and the third.
Well, no.
Manipulation gives me abusive
No,
vibes.
no. What if they're like, no,
You can
your
go
family is
ahead,
family.
you
I
do
love you.
it.
That, like, I know they're important to you. I hate your mamas. Like, I don't have nothing to
I
do with
might
her.
be
like
that.
Red flag. I don't.
I was
you
like,
can say ain't nothing wrong with my mama.
Yeah, right.
Joni, you got a problem with Joni?
I mean, you know, I probably my mom. I'm like, what the hell you do?
Yeah.
But I don't necessarily think it's a red flag as long as it's not something that's like, oh, they like starting to keep you from hanging out with them when they're trying to like isolate, cut you off from them. If
That's
they're
when they
not
abuse or
yeah,
manipulate,
that's
yeah.
when I think I'm like, oh, red flag, deal breaker, got to go. But if you're just somebody who's like, yeah, I just don't mesh well with them, or I
Yeah.
feel like I'm not comfortable. That's okay as long as like you know, hey, I'm gonna head over that way.
Right.
You have fun.
You don't mess with any of the friends, any of the family. That's a red flag.
No, not just any of them. Just like in general. Like, okay,
In general, you don't want to hang around my friends.
let's say he was cool with like other groups of people, but like for whatever reason they were like, I just Robbie and Key and Kier ain't really my people. If you're hanging out with them, I'd rather forgo this one. But if you go and hang out with train them, I'll show up. But I just don't want to hang out with those two because I don't know, they just not my cup of tea.
Yeah,
I mean, personally,
be a good ass reason.
I'm very concerned. Like sometimes you're like, I'm a firm believer. Your partner's friends don't necessarily have to be your friends.
Oh,
like
no,
not at all.
I really don't have to like your people, or I don't have. I mean, I can try. I want to be cordial thing, and I'm going to be like
Cordial, that's
pleasant.
the thing.
Yeah, they
But
can
if
be
you
cordial.
just absolutely, I'm not being around them unless y'all had a big blowout or some shit happened on the back end.
See,
That's a red
But I
flag.
also feel like
I
sometimes
can
people
see that.
tolerate things different, and sometimes your experience with that person may be different than my experience with that person. So like they're kind of sweet to you, but maybe I think they're a little abrasive or a little,
I can
overstep.
get. I see. This is where I say it becomes a red flag. If there is a day celebrating me, if there's something that I'm doing, there's a big event and everybody gonna go, and you are choosing not to go just because you don't want to be. That's what I'm like.
You're
Okay, well, you
prioritizing
can,
that person over
yeah,
me.
it's like okay, now you can go and get the fuck out. I don't
Yeah.
care anymore. But if it's just like if they can come to all that stuff, I don't care.
Yeah.
Because
No, that's real.
I think I said it because I think I'm gonna be that person. To be honest,
Yeah.
like I don't want to be around.
So what's everybody's final on there? Me,
Red flag.
doesn't bother me.
It depends
Red.
in
Yeah,
the
very rarely
context
bothers
of
me.
everything that you are.
You exist. You exist.
Okay, well, I guess my turn. Okay, so the next one is someone who doesn't vote or is against your vote. So a little controversial. I understand when people choose their right not to vote. That is something that
100%.
I think that is a right to protest. If someone wants to protest that way, they are absolutely able to. And the reason I say that is because at the end of the day, I don't want people to say that, oh, your ancestors died so you could be able to vote. My ancestors did not die so they can vote. They were murdered.
They were
They
martyrs.
were murdered. Like
Yeah.
hell, they were murdered for no reason. Like, let's keep it a buck. Let's keep it a buck. But with that being said, I don't care if you like. Okay, I'm not voting because X, Y, Z. Cool, but make sure you have a reason that makes sense.
Yeah.
Like for instance, with the past election, a lot of people. I know some people who did not vote because they don't fuck with Trump. They did not fuck with Kamala. Hey, get it?
That's a
You got
valid
it.
point to have.
I
yes.
got you. I feel it. And you have that right as an abolitionist. You have that right. I believe in y'all. However, now. If you have an issue with who I voted for, because one thing about it, I'm going to always vote for the person that more so morally aligns with me. So that means like somebody who is all about freedom, things like that, things of that nature. If you have an issue with who I vote for because I didn't vote for the person who wanted to I didn't want to vote for the person who believes that tariffs is the way to save America. Clearly you don't know what the hell you're doing and we are not compatible.
Right. Because now I can't be compatible with you because now I think you're stupid.
Not only do I think you're stupid, but I'm like you could be like, oh, they go raise taxes. They go they raise the taxes. Oh, they try to raise the taxes on the rich, and I'm like, hi. You don't cross that $250,000 a year mark, baby.
And you're probably not.
And you probably never will. And that's hey, that's okay.
Yeah, we're not pocket shaming, but I need you to be realistic.
But I need you to be realistic. Whatever they're doing to the rich, it's not going to affect you unless they're constantly getting tax cuts. Once they keep getting all the tax cuts and things like that, that's when you're going to be affected.
Yeah.
Because them trickle down economics, it's not trickling down.
Don't think trickling down is them pissing on us and calling it rain.
Literally.
So for me, I'm the same way. Like, I definitely believe in the right to not vote. Again, it has to be situational. So, like, okay, if you, if it's like this election you don't vote because again these particular candidates you're like at that stance, but like just to take the stance of like, oh, I don't vote because I think the entire system is flawed and no. That's a little strange because it's kind of like, well, then what else? What are you doing to change it? Like you're just completely sitting on the sidelines. Like that's even more damaging. I think.
And I think that's my biggest thing because a lot of people who think like, oh, once I don't vote, I don't have to do anything. But it's like, well, not a flashlight.
What's the flashlight?
But like, hey, just so you know, just because you're like not voting or whatever doesn't mean that you can't like change the system.
Like your rights are still affected.
And I'm like, and hey, and I always tell people, even if you don't vote like in the big presidential like things like that. Vote locally. Vote for your county commissioners. Vote for your city council. Vote for the things that's going to directly impact you almost immediately.
I'm saying honestly, those are more integral most times.
No, honestly, because like we feel the effects of like the state and then of the federal, but sometimes that take a little bit of time to kick in. But your local election, your county, your local city, like that stuff you gonna feel almost immediately. So it's like at least do that, participate in that, or if you're not voting either. I'm sorry, you better be down in somebody's basement planning how you gonna overthrow the government.
You better be training to be the next
you might be
sniper.
No, honestly, like you honestly y'all honestly need to be doing something because I'm like, well, what are you doing if you
just bitching?
You just bitching, so you're not okay.
Yeah.
What is the point?
This message is brought and paid by the SpitFyre Podcast.
Don't let the FBI come knocking on my motherfucking door.
I didn't say that.
Deal breaker, red flag, both.
He gets down. He don't play.
Orange flag.
Not orange.
Red. The deepest red you can get.
Damn, you mean like Alabama?
Mm-hmm.
Mississippi.
Mm-hmm. Damn near Ohio. We red.
Hey.
No, let's talk about it.
Go too far.
You know.
Okay. Well, what about whether or not they desire kids? Like you want kids and either they don't, or you don't want kids and they are dead set of they have to have kids.
That is the biggest deal breaker that I feel like in a relationship. Yeah. That's the biggest deal breaker because at the end of the day, somebody is going to resent the other person whether or not, oh, I have to have kids or, oh, I can't have kids because you don't want kids. Then it's like, okay, bitch, I really could have had kids and I want kids now because I see my friends having kids and then, if you want kids, you need to be with somebody who wants kids or is very open and does not like one way or the other. Yeah. But if somebody says, I do not want kids, I don't like kids, I don't want them. You get with somebody who, I want a big family.
I've always dreamt of being a mother or a father.
Let's not get together because y'all not compatible. Y'all not equally yoked. So I think that's a very big deal breaker.
And I like white in my home. So like white, like white furniture, white things.
Okay. Like, what? How do we get here?
You're like, okay, that's fun to share.
I never knew that.
I didn't think you want a white child. Like, what's going on?
That's what I was saying. They do it. Like, okay. For me, it is a deal breaker because again, like me being slightly anti-neonatalist, I am not the biggest proponent of children, and I think it would it creates. I've seen it create resentment with two people that do want kids, and just one of them, like say their wife is just unable to bear children. I have seen that tear people up because it's like,
because men,
I'm gonna carry on my legacy. I'm gonna carry on my name. You're a Johnson. Go to hell. But like. Yeah, because the guy feels like the girl feels like inadequate because she's unable to meet this check mark of what a lot of people connect with being a woman. Incorrect, by the way. But then also you have the guy that's like, oh, I kind of feel trapped because like I can't cheat on my wife, but you know, she's broken. Like I don't know. It's definitely a deal breaker for me.
Low sperm count and blaming it on her.
And that's a lot more common than people
low
think.
Libido.
Very common.
These men have ED.
And that's very common.
Very common. And then I'll tell you,
fucking Hims commercials.
Baby, I'm like none of you.
And I can't get hard. I honestly think what it is.
We know that's a serious issue,
right? I think what it is. I feel like if most people I would say go get your hormone levels checked. Go see where your testosterone is at. Go see where that's at because that's honestly
stress levels,
like PCOS.
All that stuff kind of like factors into that. So go get that checked first, and also hey, stop looking at so much Twitter porn. Y'all become desensitized to it,
or porn in general, or just like again, if y'all don't like. y'all be wanting to get bashed against the wall and like knocked to and fro, and it's just it don't require all that.
True. But I do think
It's
y'all
fun,
just
though.
said that is a deal breaker. I think the good example of that is Jeannie Mai. Remember,
Hey.
and honestly, I would say this.
My
I would
dark meat on the side.
I would say this. I'm not really your biggest fan because like that comment that you made was like, oh, I would never marry a black. No.
Oh.
Girl, fuck you. But I will say this: your ex-husband was a piece of shit. Sorry, I thoroughly
Jeezy?
feel that. Not well,
Oh.
yeah, apparently.
Oh, the one before
But
that,
the
yeah.
one before, because she told that man she did not want kids, and he thought he could convince her. And she said, I don't want kids. I don't want kids. I don't want kids. I don't want kids. They eventually got divorced, and quite literally, not only did he marry whoever he was cheating on her with, but that lady had a baby probably, within like a month of them being divorced?
Fuck.
Like, wasn't like it was like, you got with her and she told you what it was. Now, did she later down the line have a child? Yes, but she had told
They
you
both
up
dead ass
front.
wrong in my opinion.
Yeah, no, they are dead as well because then you did go and have a child, and I don't think you had that child out of spite
No,
for
I don't
him.
think
I don't
so.
believe so.
And things change because I've known people that like
Yeah.
were completely they meet the right person. I'm just like, well, maybe I do want to carry your
Or
seed.
maybe it honestly could have been a thing where there was just a slip up and you got pregnant. You was like, well, I don't want to get an abortion or anything, or I don't want to give that. I guess I'm just gonna have the baby. I think that things like that happen, but
Yeah.
like you said, Robbie, you cannot what?
Huh?
Yeah,
I
that's
just-
true.
They both dead ass wrong.
Because what if her whole thing was just like,
Being a mother has really changed me. I cannot believe that I have had this opportunity to be. Girl,
Well,
how many years did you say you didn't want to be a mother?
Well, she didn't
Maybe she
know
didn't
at
want
the
his
time. And that's what sometimes somebody don't want a baby
y'all
by
should
you.
have been divorced if you didn't want his baby.
not necessarily.
No.
Well, true. Okay, if you don't want to like procreate with the person you're married to, that should be a red flag.
But I mean, yeah,
You
but
get with this man and then boom.
But you see, that's the reason why I don't think she's as wrong is because just for the plain simple fact that I feel like people are allowed to grow and change their minds. And it was like, she quite literally told that man multiple times she didn't want to have a child. If that was the case, if having a child was so like a deal breaker for him, honestly, he shouldn't have married her.
Or maybe she also was like, I don't have a child because like maybe she was sensing like the control and that like, nigga, you didn't ask me about 4-5 times at this point. Like,
Also, she was
ease
focused
up
on her
off me.
career.
Hey,
It could like maybe
number of things.
You know,
She was more established.
you
know who
know,
she is.
I think I just know her from the real, to be honest.
Yeah.
I didn't know who she was before.
But I will surely. But
she do
I think
anything
the
else?
same thing happened with like John Cena and Nikki Bella. Like John
don't know
Cena
why I
told he
could've seen Nicki
said
Minaj.
WWE. Sorry, y'all.
Yeah, I'm
He
like-
told Nikki Bella like, I don't want to have any kids, and the reason he said he was like, I'm too focused on my career. I would be an awful father. I'm
And that's
busy about
real.
this, and that's real. And she tried to change his mind. He didn't want to get married. She changed his mind about getting married. He didn't want to have kids. She tried to change his mind about having kids, and so eventually they did split up, and then they went on, and he is dating or engaged to somebody. I think she went on and married someone, had a child. Sadly, apparently that man is abusive. So they are
And
getting
some
a
lose
divorce
some.
very soon.
Yeah.
Sadly, but I mean, hey, yeah, sometimes it is what it is. It's okay.
So, deal breaker for all?
yes.
Yes.
That's a very one. They check all the boxes, but you realize they're a little messy or dirty when you first see their place.
Depends.
I don't care.
Okay, because here am I. Okay, yeah.
Are they dirty or are they
are
untidy?
Exactly, because there's a difference between dirty and messy. Messy, hey, my
Clothes
clothes,
everywhere?
my
Great.
clothes, I could do that.
Bowl of
But
cereal for 3 weeks?
You got roaches.
Oh.
That's what I'm like. Bye.
Well, that might be a
When
neighbor
you said
thing.
dirty or messy, I didn't. When it said dirty or messy,
No, I'm talking about like
I would never think.
you go into their bathroom. There's like they didn't shave and it's still stuck on the toilet. Toothbrush got toothpaste all coming down the side. It's all dried up on the thing, like nasty. Like it's like they're like borderline like certain hygienic things. The house got a smell when you walk in.
It's a putrid smell.
It's not a pleasant one.
He said, you know,
Because some things don't bother me, like the toothpaste coming down the toothbrush. Now, when you talk about roaches, when you talk about rats, when you talk about animals, then I'm gonna say
I
nasty.
take my shoes off and I notice your carpet is like, why is your carpet not soft? It feels like things have been spilt on it a few times. They just dried and
Mhm. Crumbs,
Yeah,
you know,
crumbs in the bed, stains.
Oh, okay. Well, that might be
animals.
I'll hold you.
I usually will.
I have crumbs
I
in my
usually
bed
will automatically
sometimes.
think somebody is.
I have crumbs. I wipe it off and I get the vacuum and I do the
But,
thing.
no, let's say you recognize that you're just, oh, this is an issue, versus they talk about come to bed and you like, well, why am I being exfoliated? Like they don't even try to.
If somebody get in my bed,
biting me,
and they just rub it in it like.
if somebody get in my bed, I'm gonna make sure that thing. We gonna make sure it's like clay. That's
Yeah.
why I don't. That's why I be telling people, why y'all think I don't take nobody home when we go out? I'm never taking nobody home because, first of all, my
house
place
be a
is a
wreck
mess
sometimes, yeah.
because I didn't got dressed all over the house and I don't feel like cleaning it.
No, for real. I'll get it in the morning.
I will say, it's guilty until proven innocent when people have animals. I ain't gonna hold you.
What do you mean?
I just think
He think you
they're
dirty if you got an animal.
It smells like wet dog or cat litter. until I walk in, I'm like, okay, no, this is not it. Then cool.
Sure.
But I automatically just function from the whole like,
You have a beast in there.
yeah.
For me, yeah, again, I think I'm leaning towards deal breaker, but it can just be a red flag because I also want to take neurodivergence into effect, and some people do have difficulties with like maintaining certain like regular tasks, like ADHD and mental health or serious things.
That's sorry, I'm thinking out loud.
So I would have to probe a bit further. To figure like what the root is. Like that's where it's like, do you know this is an issue and you're just having difficulty handling it, or do you think this is okay? Like this is how you live. Like this.
Yeah,
this
he
is
would
how.
definitely talk to you and say it just like that.
No, literally, yeah. Because
Do you know this is dirty or is this regular?
Why do you have this bottle of pee by the bed? What's this about?
Now when that's like.
That's
Nasty.
disgusting.
That's not messy or dirty. That's nasty.
They're like, well, I just didn't want to get up. I was sleepy.
It took one mistake for that thing to get everywhere, and now your whole house is pissy.
Yeah, and old piss is red.
Like you are disgusting for that.
I'm gonna say red flag.
Okay, yeah, I'm noting it. I'm noting it. But the reason why, because like my house be junky too. Hell, I don't care. My house be
it's
junky.
not like a huge red flag to me at all.
It's orange.
Yeah,
Yellow.
orange, yellow.
Just like not nasty, but if it's messy or dirty, I don't care.
Yeah. I can do untidy. I can't do dirty. Sorry. Did I ask the last one, or did you ask the last one? Oh, you did.
I think I did.
If they're one of those people that like believes very obviously fake conspiracy theories, like the lizard people, or that the Earth is flat, or we didn't ever really go to the moon.
So for me, what you're saying, that is very much to me a deal breaker. And I say, because don't get me wrong, I love a good conspiracy theory myself. But sometimes when they're so dumb and there's like literally proven things and you're like, no. Like if you one of them bitches that believe that the elections were stolen in 2020, we can't do anything together.
You trying to show me this old grainy video of Hillary Clinton? Like, look at her eyes blink. Like those are how lizards does.
That's what I'm like. You showing AI images and posting. I mean, I'm gonna keep it a buck. I'm just gonna be honest with y'all. If you on Facebook sharing and believing everything you see on Facebook, to be honest, if you are somebody who takes the shade room in the spiritual world, posting as like fact, it's a deal breaker. If I take a step further,
you got one Dr. CB quote to pass around me, and I'm like, you gotta go.
Come to me with some hood healer bullshit. I do not like that.
Do you know why cauliflower is white?
You don't. Like when people be posting hood healer, I'll be like, that lady is awful. And I will always say this: the folks who are so spiritual and the folks who be all about this and that and energy, y'all always have the worst energy and the nastiest spirits. Y'all are always the nastiest people. So yeah,
I think that's why they seek those things out of like being this love light thing, because they know how like nasty and wicked that they've been or are, and they're trying to like, for like what word, like self-soothe. I think they're almost trying to like tip the scale, and it's like, bam,
it's not working.
It's not working. Me personally, it's definitely a deal breaker because I immediately connect that to your critical thinking skills, and as I've said before, I can't do stupid. So I can understand you being a bit misguided or maybe just misinformed, but like again, doubling down in the facts and things you're actually giving, being like, oh no, you're for real, like like you, not only is it just like, honestly, I probably would be okay if it was like one shade room post, and then I'm just like, well, no, then there's this, and they're just like, oh, there's more resources that go against this. Okay, I'll change. I doubling down on stupidity is like my quickest way to just make me be like, wow.
Because niggas do know how to say when they wrong. That's the issue.
Hello.
I wouldn't do it. Couldn't do it.
Yeah, deal breaker.
Absolutely.
Someone who curses around or at their parents.
I don't care.
So I was always taught to never I mean, I ain't gonna hold you. So I've never really cursed around my parents. I don't curse at my parents. You would never catch me saying to my mother, like, girl, fuck you. Or like, I don't understand. I see people who do that and I'm like, huh. Like, unless you and your mother, unless you and your mother had a very toxic, terrible relationship, and she was just the most awful person ever to you, and she is someone like I would say Kenya Moore's mother, then okay, I kind of get it. Like, do your big one. But if like I've seen people go in and like, shut the fuck up, mom, and they mom was like,
in a polite
dishes.
way, or like it's like she say something, your mom say something crazy, you like bitch or something like that.
Okay, like so here's the thing that does not bother me. But I know I'm not supposed. I will say, as of recently, I have started cursing a little bit around my mom. I had to stop myself.
Stick a little damn hell in there every once in a while.
You know, I'm like, I don't give a fuck. You know, I can't help it. I don't mean to, but she started laughing. But there is still a lie that like I get about 2 or 3 before she be like, all right, bitch. You got one more time.
You get a little fresh.
You get good. Yeah. So yeah, I don't
It doesn't
do that.
bother me. I don't really care. I wouldn't, but you
It's
know,
not
if you do that
person around them, no, I don't think that's like an issue. Especially if like again, they're not in direct conversation. Again, my personal lived experience, I can't call Babs anything out of her name, but like I know other people that them and their parents are okay with it. Again, I feel like I can't tell people what dynamic to have with their parents. Like y'all might be cool. You might also hate them. I don't know. Like that's your thing.
That's how they might have grown up. Well, yeah, it doesn't bother me. Partakes in unconventional drugs, but it doesn't affect their other life attributes.
So when you say unconventional, you mean more than weed.
This person is shooting up heroin before they get into work, but they're a top performer in their company.
Absolutely a deal breaker. I'm so sorry. I don't drug shame. However, I do feel that no matter what, at some point, the heroin or whatever the case may be is eventually going to take over your life, and that is something I do not want to be there to see. I will try to get you help, but once you tell me I don't need no fucking help, I'm like, hey, okay, well, I'm gonna go get my things.
I'm not gonna try to help you. Not like
he said, "Get the fuck out." Actually,
no, if we just started dating and I'm just picking up on deal breakers and you're a drug addict, I'm not helping you. Bye.
For me,
I don't have any invested interest in this. Like,
this is definitely, I'm definitely probably the lone one in this. I am a person to where I'm like, kind of like Akii said, if I don't know you doing crack, like I couldn't tell you doing crack because of everything else, I'm not gonna make a huge. Soon, like you said, soon as like you start spiraling and crashing out, I'm gonna have to exit. But like, you ain't walking around with me, jaw moving and shit while we going out. They don't know you doing crack. I can, especially in the early stages. Now I probably will point out, and be like, okay, so you do this often. This is your
they'll
thing.
lie.
Like this. No, let's be honest about it. They're like, yeah, just a little something to get me started for the day, and like coffee. Like, yeah.
So
no.
it's not a big deal breaker to you.
It's not a deal breaker for me.
It's a deal breaker for me. I'm gonna be very honest with you. I'm probably the lone one here. Weed, coke, crack, meth, heroin,
Baldwin fluid,
liquor. If you're an addict and you do it like to the point where I'm like,
you're like, you need this.
Like, do you need this to function? Do you need this to be around people? Do you need this to go to work? Do you need this to deal breaker?
I don't have it's not a deal breaker with weed for me necessarily. I will say though,
that's what I said. Unconventional drugs.
Off if it's too much around. Like
I get.
Do you hate somebody that like every time they come around they always smell like weed?
Yeah. He hate that shit. I know he hate it.
My nose cannot take that.
I get that though. I would say, because I'm the type of person like I do partake in the devil's lettuce. It's a great time.
What?
But you will never catch me like I don't have to smoke every day. I could go weeks without smoking to this day. At one point, I was getting a little scared, like, wait, oh my God, am I getting dependent on it? And I was like, I ain't gonna smoke. And then I didn't smoke for 2 days or whatever. And I was like, shit, I don't feel like smoking. And then I went a good 3 weeks. And I was like,
love
oh,
that for
okay.
you.
I said, girl, I'm good. Cause I mean, let's be real. Even when I do smoke, I never finish anything like in one sitting. It always a couple puffs, put it out. I feel the effects, and then I go do my own thing. And I might come back to it
I
maybe
faced
a
the
little
blunt
bit
on my way
later.
here. Like,
Hey, I
child,
feel it.
I-
But yeah, I will say someone I was talking to, I felt like they smoked entirely too much, and I said that it was becoming a little bit unattractive to me, and I was like, Also, I will say one thing that is a deal breaker though, and it's weed is not the deal breaker for me, but nicotine.
Oh,
You
nicotine, and that includes
y'all,
vapes.
y'all with
That
them
includes
fucking
vapes.
cigarettes.
specifically the vapes, because the way y'all be cracked out looking for those. Who
got a charger? Who got a charger?
Like, hey, bro, like I'm like, bro, like
No.
I thought apparently some of them be having 2,000 puffs, and people finish those shits like in 2 days. How did you take 2,000 puffs in 2 fucking days? That's insane.
I knew people were cracked out on them things when I saw somebody with one. And first of all, it don't help that the bitch was about the size of my phone that they were sucking on. But the entire side of it was like a screen.
Oh,
and they're
yeah.
playing a game.
Yeah.
It has a game on the side of it. Like they're playing literal ping pong.
I've seen that. I saw somebody was
Between
like, you
puffs.
can text somebody from it. I said, all right, y'all have gone too far.
That means
Too
that is in
far.
your hand too much.
Like, throw it away. So yeah,
Deal breaker.
I kind of want to just take one and throw it in the crowd to see how they all scatter toward it. Sorry.
Mine.
Okay, well, what if someone makes less than 20,000 a year and still lives with family?
Deal breaker.
Damn.
Do they have a
this
car?
on Twitter. I saw this on Twitter.
Do they have a car though?
If they have a car, they
And
fine.
How
can, like,
long
come
do
and
they plan
visit
on
me
staying
often?
there? Like, is this like you lost everything and like you're rebounding? Now that's what you think. Like, you had to start a coffee shop to get back up.
It also
I
depends
could do-
on
It
if
depends
you
on the
stay in a nice
circumstances.
home.
But let's say they're content with that. Like they have no desire to make more than that.
See, if there's no desire to move or do anything with that, then it's like
'Cause
that
it's like,
is
I'm
a deal.
content, I'm
That's a
comfortable.
deal breaker for me. If it's someone, because I saw there was like a bit of a debate on Twitter that someone was like, does someone's like socioeconomic status like affect if you can date them or not? And I was like, I think people need to be
It
very realistic and be like, yeah, that does affect dating, because
does.
if I am making 6 figures, I am not. But if I'm making 6 figures and then I'm dating someone who is making less than 20,000, things
That's a big
change.
disparity.
It's a big disparity. I know that the gifts that they get me may not
If
be
you're
the
getting
best,
them.
but hey, if I'm getting them.
Because that gives not be funny. That's survival income. Like,
But I feel like if there's someone,
Well,
if they are doing that, but they are working toward their goal to like doing better, getting out, or whatever the case may be, I'm fine with that. Hey,
Yeah.
sometimes everybody starts somewhere. Everybody has to
not
start
just being
from zero.
internships, not making no money while they like doing that, but like you're a literal nurse.
Yeah, but if you are someone who is making, and I always say, like, people be like, oh, I can't date someone who works at fast food. Hey, if you're a manager at the McDonald's or something, you are making shit
Salary
happen
is
and
salary.
paying your bills. A
Salaries.
salary is salary. But if you are someone
Right.
who you can't hold down a job, or you making less than 20,000 and you're comfortable, you have your family is catering to you constantly and doing things for you to, like, that's a deal breaker.
You talk about your nose can't handle things and kind of put your thing. That's one thing I can't do. Reason why I can't do somebody working fast food has nothing to do with the job training portion. I hated them smelling like grease all the time. I mean, anytime they come home from work, and I felt like it would linger on them too. I'm like, why do you always smell fried?
Never date somebody who work at Chipotle. Are you musty or is that the food? Because what is going on? Like,
Every time working at Subway, my mom was like, "You always come home smelling like salt and pepper," and I really did. Like, you just smell like salt and pepper.
You smell seasoned.
It's like you smell like, and not just like, you literally smell like salt and pepper. Like, it's so weird.
That is odd.
Like,
Yeah, me personally, I definitely can't do anyone 25 because again, I think also my older years, I have also decided that like love is not the first thing for me in regards to relationships. Like,
she said, "Fuck that shit."
No,
Let's
like-
get to the nitty gritty.
Oh,
no,
Lord.
like, cause I mean, like, I desire a partner that, on top of me enjoying, liking, and I also have a certain lifestyle and quality of life that I would like to maintain, that I'm able to currently maintain myself, and I don't want to be in the position where I have to adjust that because, like, I'm sorry, the first time I get a, hey, can I use your car?
I'm screaming.
Who are you talking to? Like, unless we're like literally like dating and it's a type of thing, but like just enjoy. I just, yeah, I know you can't take me out on the same type of dates. I know you can't do the type of gifts and thing. You can't do what I need you to do on my end. And I do like nice things. So I do want to be wined and dined. And we can't go past an Olive Garden. I'm so sorry. So sorry.
I could do an Olive Garden.
Right.
No, they're tasty.
I like the four.
What?
I like the four cheese eating.
I like an Olive
Lobster?
Garden. I
Fuck.
like an Olive Garden, but if I'm taking you to Lindy's, and I can take you to Lindy's, and you quite literally do not have the capacity to do that for me, I can't never have steak because
nasty.
you said what?
Lindy's is nasty.
Lindy's is nasty.
Yeah.
What'd you
I don't
have?
even know what the fuck Lindy's
Anything.
is.
It's a
I've been there
little,
a couple times. It's not good.
nice restaurant in Short North. Not Short North, German Village.
Oh.
I think
It's
they're
a
cute.
yellow flag for me.
Mildly concerning like
Yeah, it's mildly concerning, depending on the
scenario.
Yeah,
Mhm.
mildly concerning.
Is rude to wait staff or service industry folk stating things like it's their job or just purposely like ignoring them when they're like around because they feel as though it's
Immediate deal breaker.
Red
There.
deal breaker. Yeah.
That's an immediate deal breaker. I'm not talking to you. I'm not seeing you. I'm someone who has worked in those service areas before. I will slap the dog shit out of you.
Don't talk to her like that.
I was like, I'm not a person. I've been like, and not on dates, but I've been with like other people, like friends or family, things like that, and they rude. And I make sure that I'm extra nice to those people, and I tip them a little bit better. And I'll be like, hey, you
And
doing a
sometimes
good
I'll
job.
apologize for them. Like, I'm so sorry. Like,
and sometimes I cuss their ass out. I would cuss out the person in front of the way. They'd be like, leave them alone. Like,
because you know how satisfying that is. On the other end, was like, I'm so glad that their husband got into their ass. Like,
who? Because I mean, hey,
that can actually, we actually jump to one of the other questions that kind of ties into that because I think we all agreed that was a deal breaker. Now, let's say they're not necessarily rude, but they're a horrendous tipper. They're the person that like if the total's $37.60, they put 40 cents on there. Or
deal breaker.
Same. Like
I can't do it.
I hate a cheap bitch.
I can't stand a cheap bitch. I can't stand a cheap bitch. And I say that, like, don't get me wrong. I know, I will say, I agree. A lot of these tipping things have gotten crazy. Because
why is the default 25%?
Like, out of control.
It's not even that. It's just that they want you to tip for everything. Like, I done order my food online. I done drove to y'all to pick it up for it to go. And y'all still... Especially because I know that.
Excuse me.
And they're real cutesy with it. If you could just make a selection to move on to the next screen. Like,
but it's
custom 0.
I be making sure they know. I said, do you know where the no is on here? Right at the center?
But I think my biggest thing, I just hate when they do it. And it's just
in a spiteful way. Yuck.
It's too much.
I
have had family members who will leave a penny if the service is really, really horrible.
I've cussed my sisters out for that. And I honestly don't.
Horrible service is different, yeah.
I disagree.
Screw me. I mean,
You are not about to give me shitty service.
I will tip and still speak to your manager if that makes sense because I recognize that service industry people
go through a lot.
Well, not even just that. Like they're quite literally making $5.50 an hour.
Yeah.
The tip is their income. When you don't tip, you are literally not paying this person. And I feel like it kind of like gives monkey in a circus if it's just like if I don't do good here, I don't eat today. Like I don't like the feeling like that way, or also making other people feel that way. But like I will just be like, I'll still give you your 15-20%. I will need to speak to management. You might lose your job after this tip, but like
that's true. I'm sorry, but like I'll tip. Like
so what is it? So not giving them a tip, but then speaking to the manager where they're gonna get fired. What is the?
Well, I didn't say you will. I don't know what your next steps is. He could be on your third corrective action. This could have been strike 3 for you. I don't know what's going on behind the scenes.
You have to actually be a shitty server for me to not leave a tip.
They borderline have to be like rude.
They have to be rude. I understand because
I found out I'm a shitty server.
I used to work in not work in food service. I could never do that. But like cashier and stuff.
Like damn.
No, y'all know me. I could never do that.
No, yeah. He really.
I used to work at cash register or something, and they would always text my manager. That boy over there is like drier than ice, like unsweetened tea. Like it's just there's nothing there. I don't need to talk to you.
Where you rang out quickly and effectively.
Hello.
Bye.
Goodbye.
You'd be great at all these just to sit down.
She gets down. She don't play.
42.86.
Can I see your ID?
then they be trying to give you these little. Nobody came to my birthday yesterday. 52.86. I don't know what to tell you, but you got to get up out of this line because People don't understand. People are like judged on the time, efficiency, all this other stuff, and then you get a little scorecard, and that be like, oh, you got to pick up the pace. Then you get the, oh, well, you need to be nicer. What do you want me to do?
Be content that sometimes like people don't want to talk, or just like, well, let's take away some of the like niceties just for nicety's sake. Like a simple,
is good.
Yeah, literally a simple hello, doop. I don't need to be like, hello, how are you doing today? How was your Thanksgiving? Just because it's happened to be things. Do you know that
you have it in your car? You found it. What the fuck?
They had to have
that's me as fuck.
They had to have a talking with me at work because the corporate side of me, you're taught to be like happy holidays or like be very ambiguous with anything on celebrations. So we had Thanksgiving, which I found out, I guess maybe I was just dumb for saying that. But I was like,
that's a lot of fucking holidays. Yeah.
And I kept saying like, happy holidays or seasons tidings or any number of
said any of that.
Well, we were supposed to say like happy Thanksgiving. Do you know when them complained? They're like, is he not Christian? Like,
no, bitch, I'm not. Now what?
And I was like,
fuck you and your Thanksgiving. How about
it was
that?
Dublin though. Yeah, definitely a deal breaker for me, and definitely a deal breaker again. But mine ties to not on top of the fact that I think it's fucked up for the service industry. I also don't like cheap people.
Same,
and it kind of speaks to that because I feel like I don't like people that as the bill gets higher, I can see them like calculating, and then they're like, you're tipping worse when it's higher than you are if it was lower. It is because like you don't have enough money to just do 20% on whatever 20% is. That stresses me out. Immediately, it's a red flag.
I'm gonna tip. I will say, even if I do have terrible service and stuff, I try to give folks grace because I'm like, okay, I've been there. They probably going through a bad day. They probably was dealing with somebody.
They probably got 8 tables set right now at the same time.
They over here, they literally like they are probably on their 12th reason. So let me, try to calm them down. But you have to be like a complete, utterly, like you quite literally just have to be like, you have to be a white man and call me a nigger or something. Like, I'm so honestly, for me to not tip. Like you would have to be completely racist toward me.
Yeah. And then I would probably justify it with like reparations or something.
Exactly.
You got the next one?
Oh yeah, sure. Absolutely. There we go. So this is a fun one. Deal breaker or not, if someone wants marriage or does not want marriage.
I don't want marriage, so no, it's not.
You know what I'm saying? I'm like, okay, we can have fun with this.
Yeah.
That's just like a kid. It's a deal breaker. Somebody's going to be resentful.
Well,
we're talking about your personal experience. Would that be a deal breaker for you?
That they don't want marriage?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Are you someone that like, okay, I have to get married?
Because I don't have to.
I don't have to.
Mm-hmm.
But he wants
You would like to. You would like to say my husband.
Yeah. my man.
Yeah.
Okay.
Now, I don't want a wedding.
That's real.
But my man, my husband.
Now, what if they're like, okay, I'm okay with being married, but like I want a wedding. Like I want a wedding.
Pay for it.
Really? Yeah.
We've had this talk of like how expensive weddings are, and I think that also is just like made him be like,
It's
oh,
ridiculous.
fuck
Yeah, I don't think I would ever. It's given very much like we going down to the courthouse to get married, and then we gonna throw a
party, and then head to our honeymoon.
Small party. And then we're going to spend the money on a honeymoon.
Exactly.
That's what makes sense.
Like at most, I'm not going to hold you, at most, the most I would spend on a party for like a wedding or something probably would be about $800. And I know.
What are you doing? What are you
doing? But the reason for that is
he got family in the back blowing up balloons.
No, but still, like,
Baja, what do you
get
say?
to work.
I'm thinking like, he's thinking of like a cute, like maybe 2,000, 5,000.
Maybe
you said 800. I'm like,
I would say between $800 and $1,500 because I feel like
and that
the
includes
bulk
food, decor.
Yeah.
Y'all better eat before, he said, y'all better eat before you come.
Exactly, bitch.
I come over there.
Bring
and
your
I'm like,
own bottle too.
This is it will be a BYOB. It will be a BYOB.
you
You
got
open bar.
You got pinwheels. Oh, I love that.
I would pay for an open bar actually.
And
Like if I was not doing a wedding, I would pay for an open bar, but I would do the open bar where it's like there's a certain selection. If that makes sense. There's a certain selection, and that honestly once it hits a certain cap, it's closed.
Some people, the weddings I do, it'd be so funny because like a lot of times our bars will be open, and then guests, I guess they underestimate their guests like how many drinkers they have. So like every once in a while we'll have the bridal party come up. He was like, hey, just checking in, seeing where our tabs at, because like maybe they're thinking like the one guy, he was just like, yeah, I just want to see like I figure we're probably around like 1,000 or so at this point. I'm like, babe, we was at 3,700 at 7:00. We got 3 more hours to go. And then they're like, oh, well, I need to put a cap in. We literally have to have them put in a contract on the fly where we're like, you signed up for an open bar. I'm sorry you underestimated how much open it was going to be.
BYOB in the backyard.
Has no aspirations. Like they're just they just a coaster.
Well, that's an obvious deal breaker.
I don't know if that's a deal breaker for me. It depends.
They don't want to go anywhere in life?
I would say the reason why I say it depends because like if they have like a good paying job or a decent paying job and that they are able to take care of their business and stuff, things like that, they're like, hey, I'm not a big dreamer, things like that. Okay, cool. Yeah. But like I said, if it's back to like you living with your parents, making $120,000, you don't care, they catering to you,
you're cool with that,
and you don't care to live that and live your own life, then it's like that's the deal breaker for me.
I think it's also a deal breaker for me.
Because I think some people are just going to be realists. Some people are just going to be like, I don't have dreams. I'm going into corporate.
I don't dream of labor.
Yeah. I'm going into corporate. America. I'm going to work this job. It's going to pay for a house, and that is it. That is all.
And I'll retire, and then I'll just coast.
Yeah.
I think that me personally, I am somebody that tends to be very I'm blanking on the word, but what's the like? It's another word for like go getter. But like, I'm just like, you know what I'm going for.
Yeah. What's that fucking word?
I'm always big on like constantly reinventing yourself, growing, learning new skills. Yeah, maybe. Learning new skills, just like continuing to modify your character. Like, I just feel like you need to just, I don't know. Like, I don't want to be. I want like niggas to talk to me in 10 years and just like, oh, you do NASCAR now? It's like, yeah, I picked it up and like when I was getting my second degree, like, while I was opening my business, like little shit like that. Like I want that type of partner. So it would be a deal breaker for me.
Is a different type of social person than you. They might be extroverted while you're introverted, quiet while you're loud, things like that.
Not a deal breaker. I actually like that.
Yeah, it can be balancing at times, but it also can be a red flag. I think it's a red flag.
Deal breaker. Deal breaker.
Because he wants somebody to be outside screaming with him till 4 o'clock in the fucking morning. That's why.
No. You do not have to come out with me all the time. But in my experience, people who are not on my wavelength are boring, and I cannot be boring. So if you have to know how to just randomly turn on a song when we at home and just say, let's get up, let's dance.
What the fuck is doing that?
Or just say, hey, let's go on a walk. And just like, you can't just be like
well, that's like spontaneity.
That's spontaneity, yeah.
People who don't share the level of energy that I have usually are boring to me.
Again, that's because he be wanting them to be out. Because that's why they be for the longest time. Like, I was gonna say, like, baby, I'll be that. Listen, for a long time, he had my ass out till 4 a.m. multiple nights, and I said, you know what? I'm just gonna start leaving, and that's what I did.
All we see is up here, the back of his glasses.
Right. I said, is that? Oh,
yeah. Okay. I ain't going home.
Maxine.
I gotta get Maxine AC and he fixed it. Like,
and he, baby, you better quit playing. I know you was on your way here, man.
I don't need all of that. But you need to at least be able to hang with the night owl that I am.
That's true. I get that.
Yeah.
Because then I'll be like bored.
What's wrong with being bored?
Something.
On the weekend with my man, why would he be bored? I'm boring during the week.
So it's okay for you to be like. So what if during the week he's like, I want to go do this and do that. Let's get out the house every day.
I do a couple things with you,
but
I really would if my man. Yes.
No, I believe that, but it's like, so they got to be up when you up.
No,
but you ain't got to be up when they up.
No.
That's crazy. That's the selfishness of a Leo. That's
the
selfishness
of
a give and take.
It's give and take. If he wants to do stuff during the weekend, y'all know I don't like leaving the house during the week. I'll go, boom, boom, boom. If he don't like leaving the house during the weekend and I do, he gonna have to go out one time, once or twice, a month or some shit. Like,
it's not realistic.
And see, that's
why I say I can't date.
You said deal breaker. For me, it's not. I said that. I'm with the key. It doesn't bother me because I feel like it's very like. In my experience, it's been more of a balancing thing for me.
And these niggas sneaky, so no.
How do we get here? No, he's shy, sneaky.
If I was somebody who was inside all the time, and my nigga like to be outside every day, every other day, you're doing something.
You think he's bringing niggas to the crib?
You're doing something. Hey, boom.
We'll just get you a little Ring camera pointed inside, and you'll be fine.
What do you marry somebody who's in IT? Yo, doctor, that shit.
How they gonna know you got it? If you don't
These
get
men
you,
are cheaters.
if you don't get you a nanny cam and hide that shit, so
And
they
a
don't
teddy
see,
bear.
you know.
Now that's doing too far.
Honestly,
That
get it to him as a
that
gift.
is
Like
illegal.
I love you.
well, not in the state of Ohio. We're a one-party recording state.
It's tea. It's tea. I love it.
Yeah, no, I could.
Better not catch one or naked, or they can sue you.
Well, that thing.
Oh well, yeah. That's where it get a little crazy.
Yeah.
Forgets to brush teeth. Let's all answer this.
Deal breaker.
I said forgets to brush their teeth, and I said let's all answer this.
Deal breaker.
Deal breaker.
Deal breaker.
I feel like
Why is
wait.
that so hard for you to say?
Well, y'all
Because
know I
I feel
like to kiss my
like-
man in the mouth first thing in the morning, regardless if they didn't brush their teeth or not. So yeah.
a peck.
Yeah.
No, he gonna add tongue.
Sometimes white tongue to white tongue.
Well, okay, when you
Let's
say
taste
forgets to
each
brush their
other.
teeth, you mean they didn't brush their teeth as soon as they woke up in the morning, or like they didn't go all day to, oh yeah, I ain't brushed my teeth.
Let me say, and let's say you clock it because you're just like you're a little placky today, like because
What's that smell?
right, and they're like, oh shit, I did like, but let's say it's a consistent thing. Like let's say
If it's consistent,
out of
it's
like
a deal
7 days
breaker.
a week, they maybe get to it 3 to 4.
That's a deal breaker.
In the world.
You have like once a year with me. I'm dead.
No, honestly.
and it's really be like,
And honestly, it needs to be
And
drastic.
it better be,
like,
and you better have a tongue scraper, to be honest.
and I
and
feel
a
like
water
the
pick.
once a year is like you got up and you had to take somebody to work real early.
Somebody needed
you
to go to the
right back
emergency room
sleep,
with that, yeah.
thing like that. It's stuff like that. But if it's like you went your entire day without brushing your
are
fucking
y'all
teeth,
are y'all more lenient with like showering?
no.
The fuck?
I feel
I already
like
told you I felt nasty when I did more than one
You
day.
was.
I was like, oh.
You're like, I'm sweating. I must go. Like,
Oh, why
here's-
refrigerator?
here's my thing with the whole shower, because I thought I saw this on Twitter as well. Here's my thing about it. As long as you have good hygiene, we are more so good. Say, hey, you didn't necessarily, you stayed in the house all day, you ain't going nowhere, you ain't really did nothing, and you skipped the shower, but you made sure you still like you wash your face, maybe you took a whole bath, something like that. Okay, fine. But if you are somebody who's like, yeah, I went to the gym, I worked out, I did this, I did that, and you are going like all day without showering and then multiple days,
yeah. It's probably like Caucasian to me. I'm generally like, as long as you don't stink.
what's the, what
Or I
can
can't
you do?
physically see the dirt on you.
If my nigga went to the gym, came home,
I'll just say this. Marshawn,
sat on a couch or laid on the bed, I'm knocking you in your head.
let's say that. I'll just say this. Like, Marshawn,
That
he
is
could,
so nasty.
he could have a foot. Not Marshawn be bathing. But he could have an entire rehearsal, 2 dance. I remember when he was in college, he would have like dance class, like 4 or 5 dance classes as part of his curriculum. And he'd have to tell me what classes he took that day because I wouldn't be able to tell, like, not sweaty, not musty, not nothing.
Okay, like that I kind of get the whole sitting down. Okay, because hear
Still
me
need
out.
you to shower.
Because I mean, you should, but like, hear me out. I ain't gonna hold. Like
Sometimes
we
he's
just said, like you
tired.
you go to the gym, you come home and you sit down. Like, baby, sometimes I be tired. Okay, I need a little
Sit
break.
on the floor.
The fuck? I ain't gonna be able to get up.
I'm very serious when I say if you sit on
You're
the
that
couch
person
or
that's
lay on-
like, don't go on my
Don't
bed.
lay on
your
my,
outside
don't lay on the
clothes.
bed. No, don't lay on
Don't
the
do
bed.
that.
No, don't lay on the bed. Absolutely not. But shit,
Well,
after
shit, I
walking
get
up
under
those
the
3
covers.
flights of
Blame me.
stairs after I did leg day, I might have to sit on that couch to gather my bearings.
sitting your musty ass crack on a couch or bed, I'm gonna run in your mouth. I'm sorry. That is.
And then
oh.
there's me that's gonna eat it.
Oh my God. Oh.
So we can skip that one. But what is about the one? Someone who doesn't believe in anniversaries, it's because you're cheap. People who be like, I don't believe in
What do you mean don't
anniversaries.
believe in anniversaries? Like celebrating it or just like
Celebrate or don't believe in like
Or just even
relationships?
like acknowledging them, like just like, okay, we're together a year.
Cause
Ooh.
like, okay, year anniversaries, I like yearly. Oh yeah, now when you come to me with some bullshit like it's
Happy
our
1 month.
6 months.
happy 6 week, and get the fuck away from me with that bullshit.
It's the 7th anniversary of our first
I can't
date.
stand
Like,
who would post that. We've been together 2 months. I said, you gonna regret that. I'm telling you.
I-
I'm telling you, these gay boys, you are going to regret
And that's
that.
why people be telling me I'm sneaky. No, I'm not
gonna regret
sneaky.
it.
I'm just not
You're gonna
posting
regret
nothing.
loathing.
No, truly. Yeah, that's
not a deal breaker for me at all. I don't care.
That's a deal breaker because I feel like the same people who be like, oh, I don't believe in anniversary also be the same people who don't believe in birthdays. If you think the fuck you about to go all fucking year and not give me,
Not celebrate me?
not like I delete
You made a good point about that. Like, you can't celebrate me one day.
one. It's like that fucking what's that Tyler Perry movie, Confessions of a Married Counselor. I understand why she left his dumb ass because how you forget her birthday? He forgot her birthday multiple times in a year. I understand why she was like, let me go with this man who's crazy and ain't shit.
Hold on. You said he forgot her birthday multiple times in a year.
Well, not any of, but multiple years. Multiple times.
In the marriage.
Like,
Gotcha.
multiple times, he forgot that lady's birthday. And then you...
life be life sometimes.
His life wasn't that fucking insane. He was just a pharmacist. You don't get them people they pills and go about your day.
He looks at a lot of birthdays. I can see him like forgetting one or two.
He was awful. That's why I ain't blame her when she left his ass.
They have a 4-year-old's food palette, so I'm talking chicken tenders.
That's not a deal breaker. It's not a deal
It's
breaker.
100% a deal breaker.
I knew it would be for you.
Yeah.
You
He
need
like-
them,
he
you
like
need
to
them
try
to
to
like
sense.
to eat charcoal on tartar.
It's true. It's true.
No, literally.
We're gonna go
need-
take.
listen.
He go, I want to pick this little Mediterranean
I hate a
spot.
bitch
They
that
had
don't
about
want to try
4
shit
dishes.
off a theory. Like, okay, you don't like pickles because you've tried pickles and they're not your thing. I'll respect that. I don't want that. It looks yucky. I'll knock you sideways. Eat
That's
this damn
valid.
fog.
That's valid. If they don't want to
I'm
eat a
an
fish because it has
adventurous-
eyes, that's valid.
That fish be good as
Well,
hell.
then eat the part that don't have eyes. I ain't tell you to eat the head.
I'm not eating a fish with
Angel
a
gave
head
me
on
some
it.
of his.
I'm not
That
eating
fish was
that.
good as hell.
Some snapper? Way.
Why? You're vegetarian? No.
No.
I'm not eating that.
Yeah, it absolutely. I don't know. It really makes me. I don't like people that aren't very explorative in anything.
Yeah.
And food
You gotta
specifically.
be
Like,
adventurous.
yes.
Just a little. I'm an adventurous person. I like to try things. I always say I'll try anything twice.
Yeah. I'm trying to get Marshawn to do escargot.
You are nasty.
When it slide down his throat, he'll be like,
and when he
Or
throws on the
octopus in a
table,
suction cup get on his neck on the inside.
hates pets. Not a deal breaker for me.
that's not a deal.
Look,
It's
I don't
not a
have
deal
any.
breaker, but
Hates pets?
you will.
No. Hates animals? Yes.
But you will respect little DeAndre when I get him.
Yeah, like don't be mean to my baby.
Don't you bet.
Don't you hit don't
Don't
Can you go take DeAndre out for a walk? That's not my dog.
don't touch Martise.
See, and
Especially if it's in the
you
morning,
know how I look
baby,
at that,
do
even though I have no
not.
plan of having children. You be how I would look at it if someone said to me, you be a terrible stepfather. Because what you talk about, that ain't my child. I kick you in the
Our
back of your
children are
head.
different.
No.
To
How?
me, they are.
How?
That's
I
my
don't
baby.
see pets as kids.
Oh my God.
I'm sorry.
I do
He has
hate
no
when people
heart.
say like my fur baby. Fuck that. I hate that word.
I don't see them as that.
Hates or refuses to text or FaceTime. So either like
Why y'all coming from me?
Don't like FaceTime.
No, say like leave me
Please don't
alone.
call me.
Don't call.
It
Don't
makes my
cheat.
heart race when people call me. I have to entertain this. That takes energy.
they can see my face. Like
Text me.
That's
And even texting now is getting me to be like, ugh.
I will tell you this. There are only certain people who can FaceTime me out of the blue that I answer for. That is y'all. That is Terrell. That is my family. There are a lot of people who think, oh, I'm just going to FaceTime. Like, we talk, I'm going to FaceTime and see if he answers.
Yeah.
I won't pick up. I won't pick up that phone call. You better send a text. You have to schedule that in advance.
And even the rare people who do get to do that, I'm sometimes ignoring them.
Mm-hmm.
So,
Hey.
like,
It's true. And people hate me because when I do FaceTime, my phone is over here and I'm over here. You might see my fro. You might see my glasses. You will never see.
the
The
bonnet
nasty
or the
cat-
purple light in the background.
Yeah.
That's it. Every time he
I've
answers the
hinted
phone,
my glasses.
Like, you not gonna really see my face. The only time you see my face when you say something, I'm like, what?
Robbie be have me that's because like that's a very good point. He was just like even people like that, I'll be ignoring them too. And I forgot when I clocked that. I think I clocked it because I had FaceTimed him. He didn't answer. I was like, oh, okay, he's probably asleep. I get my ass on TikTok and I see a little green dot. I'm like, so I know his ass on the camera. I was like,
Somebody trying to come at me for that. They was like, I texted you and you ain't responded to my text, but you on Twitter tweet. I said, because I'm already texting.
no, you know how
Like-
you know how you ignore a call and it's sitting on that clock.
Yeah.
And it's in burner. I'll be like, how they gonna hang up anytime?
Like, goddamn.
you like, I'm trying to screen record.
Still right here? My mom pissed. I said, "Girl, just either leave a voice note or text me."
And now that FaceTime, now you can leave a video voicemail. Please just leave me one of
Did
those.
you
I did
listen
that
to
to
your
my-
voicemail?
I did that to my
have never
mom.
listened to a voicemail. I sometimes listen to them, but I don't listen to voicemails.
like
My God.
I
So
love
you probably
the
like the little feature that does a little readout of the voicemail.
Absolutely.
voicemail.
No, literally, I'd be like,
What this say?
I be looking at
Still
the, I be
collects a
looking like I be looking at the gist. I'm like, not important. Anywho.
Interview? No.
No, real. Let's see. They chew with their mouth open. I used to do that. I used to smack.
My brother
when
used
I
to do
ate.
that.
I used to
It
smack
pisses
when
me
I
completely
ate.
off.
I stopped. I no longer smack when I eat.
Because that
I used to.
sound. Even
The
when people's mouth
sound,
is too dry
the
and it
look.
sounds like
That phone that built up on the sides. Oh, I can't do it.
My
Nah,
choir
I will
director used to
say-
always do that. I said, "Ma'am,
Nah, I will say, hey, don't hate me. Now, if I'm alone and someone's mad, I might be like, damn, this good. Like, I might do that.
In the privacy of your own
Yeah,
home, it's totally different.
By
even smack when
myself.
I'm-
But like I eat with my mouth
I
closed.
get mad about my own noises. I'm like, you nasty bitch.
I eat with my mouth closed. The only time you might see me eat with my mouth open if you say something wrong and I have to chime in, but I ain't finished eating my food. But even then, I'm like, wait, hold on, because I'm kind of like
person.
Candy.
I don't like being asked a whole bunch of questions while I eat for that very reason. Like, you got about one or two things to ask me, like, so what do you think? By that third one, I'm like,
Let me finish. let me finish this.
you want to talk clearly? I'm just gonna let my chicken piccata get cold now. Like,
Because I would be like Candy. Like, you ever see that Candy? She's like, don't talk about my mama. She dusting off her fingers trying to finish her food. What you trying to No, because
don't you talk about
my mom
Oh,
got
nobody was talking about your mom.
I'm like, yeah.
Tell her when.
Oh,
Now, one thing that does bother me, now I haven't catch myself. I think that's why I hate it so much. I sure do hate a person that breathes with their mouth open.
I hate a mouth breathing too.
Oh, I hate a mouth breathing.
whoever records Alice Elm's videos on TikTok. Hello, I'm Alice Elm. I am temporary director, and whoever be behind that camera be. I cannot stand that. I said, I know people hear this.
I know you
they
hear
heard
this.
It's on every video. I said, I know you hear this.
I hate a heavy breather in general. I don't care if it's through your nose. If I can hear you take wind, I don't like it. Mm-mm.
That's real.
labor.
It gives sleep apnea to me. Like,
That's what
walking
it
sleep
is.
apnea.
They're easily jealous or possessive, but only because they love you.
Deal breaker. You're
Deal
not about to
breaker.
kill me in my sleep.
I'm
That's
a
a
hot
definite
girl.
deal breaker.
I'm a hot shit.
Hey, you can't be mad because when they say y'all fuck with a head, you can't be mad because niggas, everybody they coming up to me. You can't be mad at that.
Like, were you unaware you're with a baddie? Like,
like what's going on? Uses terms like female or real women. That's a deal breaker. I hate when
Big
people
red
use.
flag.
I hate when people say female because female. I hate that female, and they be like, I don't think anything female. You know what you're doing because you call female, but you say men for this one. Why can't you say women?
Yeah.
I hate that. I also hate when people say real women because what do you mean by that? What are you trying to say? It's transphobia, and that's why I be trying to tell people, and people don't believe in me. It's not just trans
I'm gonna say
women
you
that
roll
will
up sleeves instead of point.
yeah,
Like,
because it's not just trans women that experience transphobia, and they experience it the most. But I say like y'all be so fucking stupid. Y'all be like yeah, and then next thing you know, they are they're
it's a mass presenting woman.
You're
Or with stronger features.
yeah, you're a woman with stronger features or something, and then they talk about, oh, you're not a real woman. Like you mentioned earlier, someone who may not be able to have a baby. Now all of a sudden she's not a real woman.
Boom.
Y'all, that shit affects everybody, and that is why, like, with the bathroom bills and stuff being passed and all that shit being passed, like, trans women are not going to be the only women that are affected by this, and we've seen that with the Olympics. Yeah. We saw that, so be smarter.
Agreed. So, red flag for me because sometimes I do allow people to have like a smidgen of uneducation.
Deal breaker. Deal breaker.
It's a deal breaker.
Yeah, I'd like. Well, if it's transphobic, absolutely deal breaker. But like females, and like I don't know. I got a lot of few folk from the hood. I'd be like, okay, I understand. That's part of your vernacular. But like,
but it's still deal breaker.
As long as you're open to education.
I'll never talk to you, so you don't have
right.
to.
Personality changes based on who they're around.
Deal breaker. That is a deal breaker. That is a deal breaker.
It is a deal breaker for me. It depends on how drastic it is. I understand code switching.
Right.
I understand
code switching. I understand you may not how you act with, but me.
You become a mean girl when you're around these people.
Deal breaker.
Oh, I was thinking like, around their parents they had to do this. Around their bougie friends they do this. Then around their hood friends they do that.
That don't kind of bother me sometimes. It's a red flag, and people like, hey, why can't you just be yourself?
You do a complete 180. Like if I know you like
okay.
I'm trying to say this in a way, because everyone assumes I'm being shady. I know there's a certain like urban line to you that I expect to be you.
He said you're ghetto, and that's okay.
You ghetto bitch. Whoa.
Well,
You can take the boy out of Akron.
you know,
There's an urban lie to you. What does that mean?
you're ghetto.
No, it's just
finish your point.
there's a certain level of just like Robbiey-isness that is going to be consistent in no matter how you present. Like even when you're pulled up prim proper on certain things, that's little what the hell is going to slip out every once in a while. Like that is
Hell no.
now if he were to suddenly like
Oh
if
my
we went to an
gosh.
environment and you suddenly were just very like hi Meek like did this one thing I'm like are you having an anxiety attack? Like, what's going on? And if you were just like, no, this is how I normally am. Like, I'm fine.
I'm not over that urban line.
Oh my God, I thought this was a classy party.
Right.
You know?
There's the urban line to you. You're a little ghetto. And if you tip outside of that, I'm going to think something is wrong.
Well, you know,
that's
that's how
what
you know
you just said.
it's tea though. It's kind of like, well, you know, that's what you know you have a good friend.
That was just like me last night. Somebody was talking about how I was saying some word wrong.
Well,
It was somebody
Pot
said
liquor.
You said pot liquor.
liquor. Or I
and
said,
and I was about to chime in. Don't nobody say pot liquor like
wait,
but
pot like liquor? Or
I was
like
saying
weed?
pot liquor.
like the juice from Greens also the pot liquor.
Oh.
Like greens is good when you can drink the pot liquor, and everybody's like, "What did you just say?"
It's
I
pot
said
liquor. It's
No,
like-
it's pot liquor.
Somebody suck my dick.
But
Or
first
pot
off,
liquor.
like babes,
Excuse
like
my language, y'all.
how uppity can you be? We're literally talking about Greens.
Shut.
Talking about it's pronounced pot liquor.
People,
What did you say? I said, "Girl, now."
some people always try to act like they more than what they is. That would be getting me. I'm like, girl, you was in the hood just with me. Shut up.
I have a degree. I know.
I can read. I just choose not to.
They have phone conversations in public on the speakerphone.
Deal breaker. Deal breaker. Fucking deal breaker. And here's my thing. I hate that shit. My brother was actually doing that recently. He was always, I'm like, boy, you ain't got no AirPods and stuff. I'm not trying to hear both sides of the conversation here.
Can't you be getting mad at me? I think I'll be in Kroger. I have an evidence. He was like, "Are you in a grocery store?" And I'm like, "Yeah, I'm just getting a few things." Like,
Or instead of I don't know if you do this anymore, but instead of texting, he used to literally talk to his phone. Yeah, and then I said, why don't you just text?
I actually love that.
I love that feature.
No,
I
I
be
don't
lazy.
use it, but I love when people do it because it's funny to me.
I didn't realize
That's
how
why.
old it was. Like someone else, it was around a Gen Z person, and just the guttural eye they gave me, I was like,
But when
"That's convenient."
they're like, put the trash outside.
Period.
Comma. I'm like, bro, no, like it's never that deep.
I like you doing a lot right now. You doing a lot.
Let's see.
I think that person found it convenient.
Has mild BO, but it came from medication. That's
Wrong answer, forehead. Deal breaker. Red flag, everything. I don't care.
Like, babe, it's my kidney medication.
Out the door, you gotta go, bitch. Like, rock. I can't do that. My nose would never be able to do that.
I get it, but to me, I'm never gonna be able to rationalize. I'm just like, I know they stink because they're sick.
We go around people and it's like, which one is that? That's this bitch. That's this one right here. That is her.
And I don't have time to explain that to people. Oh no, they're going through spleen failure. I'm like,
It's something going on internally that they need to,
yeah.
Oh, well, it just is a
it's
putrid smell.
just a thyroid
It's
issue.
a putrid smell. You go home with that? Then we sleep in separate rooms.
That is a deal breaker.
Oh my God. Has angry outbursts because they're such a passionate person.
Depends because
Deal breaker.
I could have an angry outburst, but it's not what you. It's my angry outbursts come from like if you keep like. It's like a buildup of shit, and I'm trying to talk to you, and like the worst thing you can do to me when I'm trying to talk to you is when you dismiss me. Now, oftentimes, like I always tell people, I walk
That's
away.
my favorite.
I'll just walk away. I'm like, oh, you ain't got to worry about me no more. I'm the type of person I would completely cut contact. You will see me walking down the street, but Akii, and I would be like, keep straight face. I won't remove. That's cool, but I can sometimes. If you push me there, like I'd be like, if you push me there, I will become Portia or Candy.
I personally, I'm not saying anger scares me, but I have done a lot of work to be very in control of my emotions.
Yeah.
So I don't care if we're having a heated, like thing. I'm very quick to like that voice start to raise. I'm like, I need you to lower your tone. I understand your, I get
That's
that.
true.
I said, I get that. I said, but I need you to dial. I'm gonna give you one more warning,
That's right.
or we're gonna have to stop talking.
you got one time to get your tone to get out of like whack, and I'd be like, I was like, oh, because I used to tell my
I just start getting my things like.
I used to tell my boss like sometimes my old boss when we get into it, I would be like, that tone, let's change that tone, please, because we gonna be in here fighting.
And honestly, like yeah, because I'm quick to call out like a lot of those things. I'm just very like,
You know you're yelling.
I say you're yelling at me. I said, and I feel, or just like calling out behaviors in the moment of just like, hey, I don't know if you meant like what I did to that one lady when she was like, I've been working there for like 2 months, and I asked her like, why are the ice things not filled, and she was like, I just didn't get to it, but if you need to fill it up, the ice machine's in the back. I don't know if you know that you're being passive aggressive, but you are, and I don't appreciate that.
Yeah.
You're fully aware that I know where the ice machine was at. I know you know where it's at too. That's why I'm asking you why it wasn't done. You could have just left it there. I didn't get to it. But
Yeah, and that would have been fine. Because I hate when people do it. Don't do that passive aggressive shit with me.
I hate passive.
I quite literally, I would be like, I'm
just be aggressive.
Yeah, I'm just gonna be aggressive towards you, and now it's gonna be, oh my god,
Now I'm the bully. Like,
yeah, like oh my god, like
ooh, angry black man.
that's my favorite. A girl did that to me in college once, and I remember she was explaining to my friend about it, and she's like, and this big black guy, like, you know, mind you, she talked about that, and my friend was like, wait, Akii? And she was like, yeah, she was like, Aki's not threatening. What do you mean? He's like,
nor is
she
he
was,
big.
Yeah, she was like, he's tall, yeah, but he's not that threatening. She
Yeah.
was like, she's like, I think you're misreading things. Honestly, you might want to just check that somewhere. And I was like, I told her, I said, thank you for that, because like now I really am about to become the big black guy.
I said, you want to see threatening? Now I'm like, what'd you say? Like,
all of a sudden, I'd have turned. Never mind. Let me shut up.
well, we'll finish up, guys, with this episode with our Thanksgiving don'ts for following into the new year. For me, a big Thanksgiving don't is it is not the time to try a new recipe. Unless
Don't experiment.
If everybody like your mac or your whatever this particular way, and that's what they rant and rave about it, now is not the year to add cranberries. Now is not.
Could you imagine?
Now is not the year like that lady on TikTok that crumbled up hamburger buns on top of the mac instead of breadcrumbs. Let's not do that.
Oh my fucking god!
Literally just.
Did you see? I saw a video today of the girl. They had the mac and cheese, and they were trying to like do it, and like they showed the pan, and it looked dry. And she was like, "Let's just go ahead and make a box of macaroni and cheese." I was like, "She's so real fan." Like, go ahead and go get that Velveeta. That'll be done in 10 minutes.
So I like a good little box of macaroni and cheese, depending on the day.
I don't. If you know you can't handle your liquor, or you got issues when you handle liquor and you get aggressive or anything, don't ruin the whole day for people.
Mm-hmm.
Come on, we
Just
just
sit down,
eat.
drink some water.
Calm down.
My don't is if. No, that's too shady. I can't say that. No, that's.
See, he was about to come for somebody directly.
Exactly. I had to stop myself. I said, hey, whoa, stop. I would say sort of, I think you said this earlier. Thanksgiving is not the time for you to try to make amends or to try to like, don't do that because
family.
Because at the end of the day, 9 times out of 10,
the family fucked my husband.
Hey, 9 times out of 10, somebody is not mature enough to have that conversation, and emotions are going to get high, and you're going to ruin the holiday for everybody. Now, a nigga like me, when that does happen and I'm not involved, I'm going to eat my food and I'm going to watch it unfold. I also going to throw my 2 cents in there because I'm sorry. It's like I'm live reacting. I have to throw in my commentary. But yeah, don't do that. That's so I feel like that's so selfish of people. Don't do that.
It is, and it's borderline manipulative too.
It
like
is.
Because you're trying to use a like. Granted, it's not going to work with me, but for some people, a lot of people are going to be a little bit more hesitant to maybe make a scene when grandma and grandpa and everybody there. Mm-hmm. Again, I hate for you to try that situation with me because I'm going to air this bitch out regardless who's right.
I mean, hey.
But.
Because I always say I respect my mother's home. I will do that constantly, but.
We can go on the porch.
I will still slap the shit out of you if I feel like I need to. I will do that.
And I'll apologize to her.
And honestly, 9 times out of 10, if I do it, she might be behind me.
She's like, I was waiting for somebody to take that bitch
so,
and whip their ass.
So, hey, like, don't do that.
But we've had a couple fights and arguments, but
same.
Mm-mm.
Oh.
We had 1 year. No. I'm just gonna stop there.
Well, I was like, oh, I don't think my family want. Now they want to fight me. I'm like, I ain't even say nothing. I ain't say no names.
Select 2.83s for $10.50. I know this one. I know that cookie good. I placed my pre-order. Sorry, y'all.
Well, thank you for stopping by and tuning in to another episode of SpitFyre.
Yes.
Spit on it.
Spit on it.
Until we meet again.
Until
Hawk 2.